Hey, welcome to Soul Centered Millionaire TV, episode 16. 16 times we've done this and I've loved every single one. Hopefully you can all see me okay. So where no bullshit business strategy meets a little bit of magic, a little bit of what I call heart-centered, soul-centered, aligned action, because I honestly believe you need both. My process to building business and success is very kind of no bullshit strategy, but it's also, because I know the importance of it, it's also been quite a spiritual journey for me, hence why Soul-Centered Millionaire became a thing, because I realised that I need to combine both of these things in my coaching, in my teaching, to really share honestly what I've done and what I continue to do to help other people. Now, you can catch me here every week, same time. And I'm going to start by saying, because I always give a little bit of an update of like how my week's been and stuff. But as you're logging in, guys, let me know who's here first so I know who I'm speaking to. So if you're catching it on live, you're with me live, give me a hashtag live. If you're catching it on replay, let me know that too with the hashtag replay. Hey Carolyn, hey Victoria. Hey Melanie, how you doing? Hey Caroline, two Carolines. Lovely to see you all. So I'm going to be really honest with you to start with, and I want you to tell me if you can relate. Hey Jackie from Lanzarote, my previous hometown. Tell me if you can relate to this, guys, because I come on here every week, don't I? And I always start by saying, hey Amber, I always start by saying something about what's been going on for me, so I'll kind of catch you up on just the world of Michelle, just while people are getting logged in. Hey Hannah, hey girl. So hey Ellie, I'm going to stop saying hello for a minute now. So I was sat here for a minute and I was thinking, before we dive into the training, so the training tonight is about 3 steps to consistent 10k months income, because I know that's a significant milestone for most people. It comes up all the time, so I wanted to focus on that tonight. Before I do, I sat here thinking, what can I share about my week? Just like have a little chat in the beginning with you guys, like I always do. Like, what can I say about my week? Because it's been fucking shit. That's how I feel. I was like, the last week, it's just been arse. So do I go on and pick something, like pick a highlight, just focus on that? And I was like, no, bullshit. That's not what I'm about, is it? I'm going to be honest and say it was shit. So who can relate to this? Let me know in the chat box. So give me some hearts if you can relate to this. I'm a woman. I get hormonal. Once a week, everything once a week. God, no, once a month. Thank God it's not once a week. Can you imagine? Once a month, everything is just so much fucking harder. Everything. And it's like everything that normally I can just handle, little things, like nothing major's happened, everything normally that I can just handle and take care of becomes a big fucking drama. And this week has been like that for me because it's been that week. And some weeks are better, some months are better than others. Some months I kind of get out unscathed, or the people around me, like James, bless him, get out reasonably unscathed. And other months, I don't know. It's like I become possessed by some sort of demon. I don't know what happens. And that's been what it was like this week. I just felt so overwhelmed. Like, I've got some new things coming up business-wise, new things that I'm launching that are in the pipeline. So I've been busy away, scurrying away, getting all of that done. And then I'm renovating a house, as you know, which is so fun and so exciting, but it's still something I've got to do. And then we found this little puppy by the side of the road, so I've been nursing him back to health, and he's like having a baby, and sorting out his new home in England and the transport for that and all his vet kind of trips and all of that shit. So James said something to me on Saturday and I was like, no one's having any fucking more of me because there's nothing left to give. I'm done. I'm empty. Leave me alone. And he was like backing out of the lounge slowly. And I was just having one of those moments where I was like, I'm just depleted. I've got nothing left. So I did what I always do when I get a little bit like this. And I spent the weekend doing nothing, like literally said, I'm not leaving the house, I'm staying in, I'm leaving my pyjamas on, I'm eating nice food, junk food, I'm not going to feel guilty for it, I'm going to watch stuff that I want to watch on the TV, I'm going to take long walks with the dogs, I'm going to just fill myself back up. Don't ask me to do anything, don't even speak to me. That's what I was like on the weekend. James has been terrified all weekend. Who can relate? Is it just me? Give me some hearts or comment in the chat box if you can and tell me that you get like this too. Because a lot of my friends, we laugh about it, and like my family, like my sister and my mum, we all laugh about it. It just gets like that sometimes. So, isn't it, Suzanne, totally mental how much it can affect you? This is why I only work with women and I only coach women. Hey Leona, because in my mentorship groups and any group programs that I run, this is the stuff that we cater for in business, and we talk about and hacks to get around it, because and men just wouldn't get it. Like sometimes people think I'm mean, like men will message me and say, why do you only work with women? Like why can't I be in your group? And I'm like, you don't get it. Like I'm talking about this stuff and it won't be relevant. And you can say, oh yeah, my wife gets like that, but you don't fucking get it. Trust me, you don't get it. I was in like, best way to describe it at the weekend, I was just like zero tolerance for any sort of bullshit. Zero tolerance for even trying to cater for somebody else's needs, because I'm just like done. I'm just done with everything and everybody. and men don't get it. They just kind of steer clear, don't they? So let's jump into the training, because I think everyone that's come in is here now and catching us live. So, consistent 10k months, Leona, rage. Exactly, literally, that was me, rage. I won't even tell you some of the things that came out my mouth. Right, so 3 steps to consistent 10k months, because every time and time again, when I'm either working with a client and we're setting goals, we'll always set the big vision first and we'll get clear on what that is, and then we'll pull it back and go to the shorter term vision. And a good 97-98% of the time, people that are just getting started in business or looking to up level quite significantly will always say to me, 10k a month. It comes up an awful lot, 10k a month, and the reasons are different, but the amount is normally around that figure. 10k a month because it's going to give me more time with my family. It means I can get out of the job, earn more than I've ever earned, and not have to do something I don't love anymore and just focus on my business. 10k a month because it will help me to have more holidays, or it'll mean that I can live my best lifestyle and live in the house that I want and drive the car that I want and eat the food that I want and be able to shop whenever I want to. For most people, it's that point in business where, you know, that 6-figure mark, where it feels, life feels comfortable. And I'm talking income here, not sales. There is a difference. This is like money in your pocket every month. This is normally the point where it makes a significant difference to average people like me's lifestyle. You know, when I first started out, 10k was my big goal. 10k a month felt like an obscene amount of money. When I was working a job in retail, I was earning about 1,500 to 2 grand in a manager job, which was quite high pressured and long hours. And so I think somewhere along the line that taught me that that's what I was worth, that's what I was capable of. So when I set that first goal in business of 10k a month, you know, kind of gone past the point of setting goals of just replacing my income and allowed myself to dream really big, that was the first kind of scary goal. It made my heart pound a little bit, and the thought of achieving it excited me and made me feel sick all at the same time. So let me know, whoever's logged in tonight, where are you at? Is 10k a month your goal? Is that why you're here tonight? Is that a goal that you've set for yourself? And if so, why? Like, what is it? Because this is the first thing I want you to get really clear on tonight. What is it that 10k every month in your back pocket, in your bank account, is going to give you that you don't already have? And we need to get really clear on this as a starting point, because if we don't know why we're going after it, we're not always going to do the do. We won't get through the challenges. We won't go at it with the same energy if we don't really know why, and we're not grounded in the why. We have to be. And I know you've heard this time and time again, but I want you to start with that tonight. It's a dream right now. I've no clue how to make that a reality. We're going to start talking about this tonight, but just share that as a starting point with me. Commit to, if you've got no clue and you stood there or sat there, whatever you're doing right now, going, I just don't know why I want it. I'm not clear on that. Because some people will say, it'll give me more time, or some people will say, done, it's fab except for the tax bill. Yeah, big tax bill, big income. Gratitude for the big tax bills. Some people will say, oh, I just want 10k because, you know, it's a bit wishy-washy. But I think we want you to be really clear tonight. And if you don't feel really clear, then say that in the chat box. Say, you know what, I'm not clear, hands up. Because really, if this is your goal, you should know. Like, you should know instantly. It's because of this. And when I close my eyes, I can feel it, touch it, taste it, see it, because it's that clear, because I think about it all the time, and I talk about it all the time, and I'm freaking obsessed with it. And if you're not at that stage yet, get to that stage really quickly. Allow me to save a massive chunk each month to put towards my property portfolio. Brilliant. So building a property portfolio with it. And go over that, like get really clear on that. How many properties, where are they going to be? What sort of income are they going to bring in for you every month? How does that money snowball into something else? Okay, some awesome things coming in the chat box. So let's get started on the 3 steps that you need to be considering and actioning right now to realise this goal. The 3 key things that I know when I look back I had to do, and the 3 things that I go into more detail with when I'm working with clients. Obviously, we're not going to be able to go into the real detail tonight, but we're going to cover as much ground as we can in the time we've got together. So, pen and paper, let's go. So, number 1, you've got to own your niche. That's the first thing. To get momentum and traction quickly and get up to that 10k a month income, you've got to identify your niche and own it. You're going to have heard this before, niche, niche, niche. I'm sure you will have. But why am I bringing it up today? Because it's not done properly by so many people. So many people have a wishy-washy niche. It's not clear enough, it's not bold enough, it doesn't stand out enough. And the big reason people don't niche, 2 big reasons. 1 is because they're not quite sure how to. And 2, because they have fear of missing out, FOMO. But if I just specialise with this type of person, then I miss out on all the other people I could be helping. And that ends up with a generic brand, a generic message that is trying to appeal to too many people, therefore we end up appealing to nobody. Let other people have the clients that don't fit into that niche and just commit to owning it. I'm going to give you a bit of an example. Let's say you're somebody, and this is a real life example of a conversation that I had recently. Someone said to me, I've got a niche. Yeah, I'm niche, I'm clear. I've heard it all before, Michelle. I've niched down a long time ago. I'm already super niche. And I was like, tell me about that niche. Well, I work in empowerment. So I empower women to live their best life. So tell me about your niche, was the way I responded. And she was like, yeah, I empower women to live their best life. Now here's the thing about that, and this is how I always describe it. If you're going to walk into an auditorium, let's do it like this in your mind. I want you to imagine you're walking into an auditorium of hundreds of thousands of people, and you're not allowed to speak to them. That's the first thing. You're not allowed to speak to them, but you know for sure that a percentage of those hundreds of thousands of people are your ideal client. You're not allowed to speak to them, but all you're allowed to do is walk around with a big pole. And on that pole says, in a snapshot, what you do and how you help people specifically. Now, if you're specific enough without speaking to them, people are just going to come and give you money and say, I want that service, I need that service. So if you walk around that auditorium with a pole that says, empowering women to live their best life, nobody is going to come and hand you some money, because they don't. It's too wishy-washy. It's too generic. It could mean too many things, and it doesn't hit on a feeling, a pain point enough. We digged into this and I said, how do you empower them? What do you want to empower them with? What does best life mean? We started asking loads and loads of questions, and it turns out, as it often does when we're monetizing our passions and the things that we're good at, that this particular woman wanted to help women go on a journey that she'd already been on. Now for her, what that meant was she'd been in a really disempowering job. A job that she hated, a job that she was told that was all that she could do. And in going on a journey of self-improvement, self-development, she started to realise her own worth, and she started to realise that I'm worth more than the job. I can earn more, I can have more, I can be more, I can create more for myself. So she went on that journey herself. She set up her own business. Her business is doing enough just about to replace the job. So That was only £1,000 a month for her, but that's what she's doing, £1,000 a month. She's no longer got to go to the job. So when we drilled into it, she was like, I want to teach women that. I want to teach people that they are capable of more than they ever imagined, and that I can show them how to get it when it comes to having a career or a job that they actually love, not one that they're settling for to pay the bills. So it's like, we're talking more about career here then. It's not necessarily just female empowerment on a stick. It's way more than that. It's helping people to realise their potential, identify a career that they love, and then be able to step into that career with confidence. So you're more career coaching here for people that are in jobs that they don't love, helping them identify what they'd love more and helping them find it and have the courage to go for it, right? And she's like, right. So now really when you're holding up that flag walking through the auditorium, you're saying, are you in a job that you don't love? Do you want me to help you identify how you could be in a job that you do love? Identify your strengths, da 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 da. Now we're getting more specific. You see, when we're generic, we don't speak to anybody. When we try and do too much, we end up appealing to nobody. And I'm going to give you an example of what not niching does to your business. In the little town that I live in, there's 2 restaurants. James and I love Indian food. So when we first arrived here, we went and found an Indian restaurant. It was like, get your priorities right. That's the first thing that we need to find, an Indian and a Chinese. We drove into town and there were 2. One that serves Indian food. I think it's called Indian Spice. It's something really like obvious. Okay, there's an Indian. 2 doors down is another one called Fusion. Indian Mexican Fusion, I think it's called. They serve Indian and Mexican food. Now I'm looking at that going, you're not doing both of those things well. I don't give a shit what you say, you're not. Are you a Mexican or are you an Indian? Tell me you're both, and I don't want either, because this is the thing, you need to specialise in something. You need to specialise in something really specific, because if you specialise in something and have the courage to do it, a niche, then people look at you and say, okay, I understand exactly what she specialises in, therefore she's the person I'm coming to when I feel I want that. But if you try and specialise in multiple things and be too generic, people don't trust it, because they're like, well, what are you? Jack of all trades, master of none, or a specialist in something? Confused people don't buy. If you confuse somebody with your brand and what you say you are and what you say you do, you paralyse people. If somebody else is clear and saying, this is what I do, so I specialise in helping someone get Facebook leads, I specialise in helping people monetize Instagram, they're all super specific and niche. And that's the first thing you got to do to start getting enough traction to build 10k months. People need to know really obviously who you are, how you help them, what specifically you can help them with, what you're a specialist in. Number 2, and also just on this point, if you're just starting out and you're thinking I'm not a specialist in anything, yes you are, you just haven't identified it yet. And I'm going to give you access at the end of this video to a training that will help you do that. So, number 2, separate your 3 S's in business. Now you're going to want to write this down, the 3 S's. Now I use these like a freaking business Bible. I live and die by the 3 S's. This is the first time I've ever shared it outside of my client group. So if you're a generic distributor for MLM, love this question, Kirsty. You can still be niche. You don't have to be a generic distributor for MLM. Who says you have to be that? Just because that's what everybody around you might be doing doesn't mean that you have to do that. If what's your goal for MLM? If you want to create a huge team, who do you want to work with? They are your ideal client. Do you want to specialise in helping somebody in particular with their income, lifestyle goals? I was in MLM. I had an MLM business and I specialised in helping traditional business owners that was exchanging time for money leverage their time with MLM and create a business on the side of their business. I specialised in entrepreneurs. Who can you specialise with? There we go, single mums. So you're the startup business coach for single mums. You help single mums develop startups from home. That's your niche, and all of your messaging comes around that. So you don't have to be generic no matter what business you're in. Everything I'm saying is applicable to everybody in business no matter what the business is. Multi-level marketing, Amanda, is MLM. Right, so separate your 3 S's. Here's what the 3 S's are, what they stand for, and here's how. There's 3 things that have to come together to be really successful in business, but they also have to be separated logically. So we need to know what they are They all have to be working for your business to be a success, but they need to be separated in your mind and not be confused as being the same thing. And the 3 S's are strategy, service, and self. So you've got the strategy, the operational practices in your business that make it a success: marketing, sales, branding, accounts, finance, all the things that make your business function like a well-oiled machine. That's your strategy. How you generate leads, how you sell those leads. And then you've got service. Yeah, say it with me so I know everyone's got it. Good idea. Who was that who just did that? Kirsty, thank you for that. Say it with me below. 3 S's. Self, service, strategy. Strategy, service, self. Doesn't matter which order it comes in. These are the 3 things that you have to get right to get to this 6-figure mark. So strategy is the operation side of your business. This needs to run like a well-oiled machine. This needs to be run like a business. So if you think about all the things, and maybe you need to brainstorm this in the beginning, all the things that need to come together from an operational point of view for my business to run effectively. As I said before, marketing, lead generation, all the other things that might be in your specific plan. And then you've got service. Now this is the thing that you deliver to the client or customer, consumer at the end, separate to the strategy. It's the thing that you do. If you're a coach, it's your coaching service. If you're someone that sells online courses, it's the online course. If you're in MLM, then it's the business opportunity or the product at the end. But it's separate to the strategy. And then you've got the self, you, the person behind the business. That needs as much work as the strategy and the service. All those 3 things have to be functioning correctly for your business to be a success, but they must be separated too. Here's what I mean by that. So many people say to me, I picked a niche, Michelle. I decided I was going to work with small businesses and how to generate leads on Instagram, for example, because I know how to do that. So I picked my niche. That's my service at the end. I was going to offer a 3-month course that shows people exactly how to generate leads on Instagram, and I was going to offer a done for you package where I do it for them if they want it. This is a true story, by the way. You can probably tell. They're the 2 services I'm going to offer. That's where my skill set lies. That's the brand I'm going to create. Brilliant. Okay. So small businesses are these solo, like entrepreneurs, women, men. No. Traditional businesses, bricks and mortar businesses that have never really used social media. And I'm going to show them how to use Instagram to make their business busier. Brilliant. Super niche, super specific. Offering 2 packages. Clear plan to 10k a month. Month 2, not earning 10k, not generated any leads. What does she do? I'm going to change the service because clearly the service is wrong. No. There's nothing wrong with your service. You haven't delivered it to anybody yet. You just can't generate leads. You don't know how to generate leads. So therefore you haven't had anyone to sell to. Therefore you haven't made any sales. Why are you changing the service when it's the strategy that's wrong? And that's why we've got to separate these 3 things. Or, for example, I'm having a real hard time generating enough leads and selling. I can't sell. My business isn't working. The strategy, but I've got the strategy. It's written in front of me. I know what I need to do. It's not working for me. Oh my God, everything's imploding. I need a new strategy. You don't need a new strategy. You need to work on yourself because you haven't yet become the person with the right mindset, attitude, disciplines, habits, the resilience, stick-to-itness that will keep going and implementing that strategy and keep being flexible and persevering until you get it right. Maybe you're being impatient. There's some work to do on you. These 3 things have to come together, but they have to be kept separate logically as well. We have to constantly say to ourselves, the problem I'm encountering right now, is this a problem around strategy? Is it a problem with me and my attitude or the delivery of this strategy right now? Or is there a genuine problem in my service that I'm delivering? Self-service strategy. Number 3, you have to master one thing. And if you mastered nothing else but this one thing, your business would get by and it would be profitable to at least 10k. It's lead generation, it's marketing. You have to master it. It's the lifeblood of any business. Do you know how many people I see And how many people contact me saying they've got the best products, the most amazing service, they've got so much experience that goes into delivering it, but zero money in the bank and no fuckers buying it. And they've spent months, years in the idea phase and creation phase of this super online course that's going to change the world. And now they're disheartened because it hasn't, because of course it hasn't. If you don't know, that's the thing, that's combining the service and the strategy again. If you don't know how to generate leads, you have not got a business. Fact. And I'm sorry I'm all in your face about this, but it's true, and it comes up all the time. And not just generate leads, but predictably know what strategy you need to implement to get 5 leads a day that convert into 20 sales a month that gives you 10 grand, for example. I don't know your exact figures because I don't know your business, but you need to know your figures, and you need to know how to generate enough leads to hit those figures predictably, and then it's rinse and repeat. Do you know what bullshit I hear all the time is, and this is something that aggravates me when people say this. Normally people say that are in jobs or that are just starting out in business and haven't quite got their head around strategy yet and what it means to be an entrepreneur. But it annoys me because it's such a limiting belief and it holds people back so much. And I always do my best to bust through this one. You don't know what you're going to be earning as an entrepreneur. Your income's never stable. You never know what you're getting from one month to the next. Bullshit. I always call bullshit. If someone says that to me, I know one thing for certain. They haven't mastered lead generation predictably. You know exactly what you're earning as an entrepreneur. I can tell you what I learned this month, next month, the month after, and the month after, because I know exactly what I need to do to generate the leads that makes those amount of sales that hits that income goal. It's really simple maths, and it's a really simple strategy that you just rinse and repeat, but you've got to master it. If you master nothing else but that one thing, your business will thrive. So I've got a question for you just based on lead generation, because this comes up a lot. Would you like me to run a free lead generation web class? Because I know for certain that when I look back over the last couple of years, so I've had a coaching business now for 2 years. No, in August, so not even 2 years yet. And this shocks a lot of people when I say this. Obviously, I've run other businesses, that's why I'm a business coach, but my actual physical coaching business now that has turned into, and was actually in the first year delivering consistent 100 grand months for me. Within the first 13 months, I had my first 200 grand month. And do you know what? It pisses people off sometimes when I say that, especially other coaches, because they're like, fuck's sake. Because there's this belief that, like, because I've been a coach longer, I should be earning more. The thing is, it's got nothing to do with how long you've been a coach, because that's a service. It's a service you offer. It's got fuck all to do with the strategy, and that's making the mistake of not separating the 3 S's. The reason I was able to do it is because I know how to run businesses, and a big part of that knowledge is lead generation. How to generate leads predictably and consistently every single day that convert into paying clients. That's it. If you learn nothing else, you need to learn that. So I have been thinking, shall I do a web class that breaks some of this stuff down for you in more detail and provides an environment for you to learn this stuff? Comment if you want me to do it, because I just think this is the one thing that messes people's businesses up, because it's the one thing also that feels really scary, because it's technical, a lot of moving components have to come together to make it happen. It feels techy. I'm a tech idiot. So when you hear things like sales funnels, email automations, all this stuff, it can just, like, my eyes glazed over when I knew I'd got to learn it, I'll be honest, because I'm not good at that stuff. And if you carry the belief that you're not good at it as well, then all this stuff can feel really overwhelming. So if I was to create something where it broke it all down for you, would you be in? Comment below saying I'm in. If there's a need for it, I'll do it. Okay. Keep your eyes peeled then, because I'm going to do it soon. Watch my Facebook closely. As soon as I announce it, I'll do it live web class. So you'll have to log in and so I can use slides and stuff, because I need to and I won't be able to do it like this. It won't be effective enough for you. So keep your eyes peeled, because you'll have to register for the webinar, and by the looks of it, there's going to be a lot of people that want the places, and I know there won't be place for everybody that wants it. There never is. So keep your eyes peeled. Okay, so let's just recap the 3 things you need to do to have consistent 10k months. And I know we've only gone over them briefly tonight, but we'll do more on lead gen in this live webinar. So number 1, stand out with your niche. Don't try and be a master of all things and jack of all things and master of none. Don't worry that you could be helping all these different types of people, so it feels wrong to pick one. Just pick one. Decide that you're going to niche and get really clear. 2, separate the 3 S's: self, service, strategy. 3, master lead generation. I'm going to put the webinar on for sure, because I can see you all really want it. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And also, at the end of this video, I'm going to post a masterclass that I did a couple of weeks ago. It's called the Freedom Formula for Female Entrepreneurs. So the concept behind it is the fact that, you know, it's about building a business that gives you freedom. It always has been for me. It was never about being a millionaire. I like money, don't get me wrong, but I like what it gives me. It's not the actual money. And the one thing I've always wanted was freedom. But to have a freedom business, you've got to have a strategy that gives you freedom. So many entrepreneurs just find themselves slaves to their business because it's not figured out properly in the beginning to mean that it can give you freedom. So if you want a copy of the Freedom Formula for Female Entrepreneurs, it's an online 40-minute masterclass that talks you through the steps that I had to take to create a business that is truly leveraged and truly gives me freedom. And it's going to be posted in the link above, so you can go ahead and download that straight away. It's instant download. It'll be in your inbox within a couple of minutes, and it's completely free. Keep your eyes peeled for the masterclass on lead generation. I'm definitely going to do it. Coming up. Love you lots. I'm going to watch Love Island now.